Hello, my dear friends, how are you? What government is doing better is good and not bad. And what is not so good? How can we understand it? How can we reach a conclusion? How can we form a better opinion about all that? There is one best way, and that is provision of the public services. Public must be the primary beneficiary of any state. The people residing there, they must be facilitated in a better and better way. Their needs must be met in a better manner. So that is why it is really important that public services should be delivered to the public in the best possible manner. And if at all we are talking about the public services, we need to know first of all what are the basic essential public services, and then what should be the characteristics of these public services, and how to make it better, even better, with the participation of the general public, with the participation of media, etc. So let's try to understand what are the basic and the essential public services. So these are seven in number. First of all, it is healthcare. I'm not putting forward importance wise, it may be like that as well, but simply I'm putting forward all the seven essential public services one by one. First of all, it is the healthcare. Health, as long as we are alive, it is the most important thing ever for us. Health is wealth. If at all we are healthy, we can live for a better life. And for those who are not so healthy, are actually not so lucky as well. So it is the healthcare facilities, hospitals, labs, treatment through medicine, treatment through surgeries, and provision of the medicines. Healthcare, very, very important healthcare facilities. And that is the one of the essential, or maybe the most essential public service. And then the second is the education. We need to educate the people, and we need to educate the younger folks, because with the education they are better and better, more and more effective and capable human being. And it is not the quantity which matters, but the quality which does. So really important it is that education be provided to the general public. The quality education should be provided to the general public. And now the third essential public service is the law enforcement. Enforce the law. On the one hand, better and better legislation needs to be done. On the other hand, the better and better implementation should be done at the same time. And it is the law enforcement which make a society a civilized one. And it does tell that there is no rule of jungle, no rule of jungle at all. It is a civilized society, and the law is being enforced by the authorities. So law enforcement mean handling those with the iron hand. According to the law, those who are trying to do bad with other people, either individually or even with the large number of people. So that is the law enforcement, which is the third basic public service. Now, the fourth basic public service is public transportation. We need to travel. Humans need to travel from one place to another, and that is very important. It without it, human development and a better life is unimaginable. So it is the public transportation, and the government need to provide the better and better services for the transportation, for the movement of the people if they want, if at all somebody want to move from one place to another. Now the fifth is the emergency services, and it is like firefighting facilities or rescuing the individuals or a group of people if at all their safety is at stake, if at all their life is at stake, they need to be rescued. And firefighting and certain other, it is the emergency services, that is also one of the basic or essential public services. Now the sixth public service, that is the provision of utilities. It is the water, it is the electricity, it is the gas, it is the telecommunication, and these are very important, very important, you know, utilities, and it should be provided, must be provided in a better form to the public. Now the seventh and the last, the basic and the essential public service, it is environment. Like we receive the water which is clean, which should be clean. But once we utilize it at home, in bathing, in washing, and that lot of detergent and human body excretions are mixed in it, it must be disposed of properly. And in certain countries, it is treated well and utilized again, but at least it should be disposed well. And then it is the solid waste management which must be done properly in a better way, keeping taking care of the environment. So these are the seven basic services, seven basic public services, which is actually the responsibility of each and every government. While the provision of these basic public services is being done, there are certain things which needs to be taken care of. What are those certain things? There are certain characteristics which should be taken care of and which should be considered. First of all, it is the accessibility. Once any state is providing it, providing these basic essential public services to the general public, so it must be kept in the mind that it is more like accessible. If at all a school or college is some 200 kilometers away from somebody's home, obviously it is difficult and it should be quite accessible. So all the other, the hospital, the all the other services, if at all there is a fire, if a fire broke out, but the firefighters are far far away and they reach on the spot after 1.5 hours, what will be the use of it? So it must be accessible, number one. Number two, it must be non-profit. These public services which are the responsibility of the government, it must be without any profit. Rather it should be quite affordable as well. Quite affordable mean where our government is ought to provide some certain subsidies. It must be provided as well. It must be ensured as well. Government can recover that money through taxes and by certain other means. But as far its affordability is concerned, that is very important. The fourth and the last, characteristics of these public service provision. It is the regulation, and it must be watched well, it must be regulated well. So that is the these are the four very important characteristics of the provision of public services. First one was accessibility, the second is non-profit, the third is affordability, the fourth is the regulation. Now at the end, as for our today's talk about the inclusion of the general public, about the inclusion of the media, and what are certain other things. So let's talk about it. First of all, I think since these services are meant for the general public, hence inclusion, hence their participation must be ensured. Their feedback be taken, their suggestions be taken. They should be allowed to keep an eye upon it. They are the owners of a state, and these are the services being meant for the general public. Now, the second thing, that is actually the media engagement. Media should be engaged well to provide the awareness to the general public, because awareness very important, providing the information to the general public about what services are available, how can they utilize it, and all other things. I think the media is a kind of bridge between the general public and the state and the government, creating awareness among the general public. It is what the media can do, either the print media, the electronic media, the digital media, and now even the social media, and the citizen journalists as well. So it is the media which plays very important role indeed, as far creating the awareness amongst the general public is concerned. The third thing which need to be taken care of, and it is the capacity building. Those who are working to provide these services, and those who are suppose those who are working in the healthcare field, they should be more and more capable in the relevant departments. And those who are working to provide the education, I think they should be better equipped to provide, to impart a quality education, and quite the improved one. So in the same manner, every department, every sub department, these should be well trained, and training courses must be held, and training workshops will be held, refresher courses be held, and they should be somehow deputed in another department for the sake of better training as well. So that is actually the capacity building of those working inside any particular public service department. Now, the next is it is the transparency. Transparency is very important indeed, and it must be very transparent, and transparency is essential. And then, if at all something is bad, something is not, something which is happening is not, something which is not permitted is happening, those people responsible must be held accountable, should not be forgiven. Otherwise, these departments will not be able to deliver. And transparency mean it should be open for inspection. It should be open for inspection by the general public, by so that is why it can be barter, run, and accountability, of course, mean taking to task and not letting go anybody scot free who has done something bad, who has damaged any public service department, who could not deliver, or who somehow made any sort of corruption. So that is very important topic. Thank you very much.